Hello and welcome to today's lesson. We're going to be covering topics under the Standard 3.1 in 6th grade and also topics under the Study Island lesson titled Three-Dimensional Objects. So we're going to be going over a lot of vocabulary, different names of shapes and different types of triangles and different types of quadrilaterals. So you're going to want to make sure that you copy down all of those notes and study the words that you aren't familiar with, because knowing those vocabulary words is going to make these questions a whole lot easier for you. And as we're going through and you're taking those notes, if I go too fast, just pause and rewind so that you can get caught back up. And then you can even pause at the beginning of the question, work the problem out, and then watch the video to see if we get the same answer. And I'm so glad that you're here today, and so let's go ahead and take some notes.
Some of the vocabulary words that you're going to have to know for this lesson are vertex, face, edge, and lateral face. So a vertex, or the plural form vertices, or the corners of the shape where three or more sides meet, or the pointed edge of a cone. So they're just the corners of your box. Those are called vertex. One is called a vertex, or vertices. And then the flat sides of your box are going to be the face. So you have faces on the top, on the bottom, left, right, and front and back. And then you have your edges, and those are the line segments where the two faces meet. And if it was a box, that would be your seam. So the edges are the lines of the shape. And then the lateral faces are a specific type of face, and they're the faces that aren't bases. So the bases of this prism here are those hexagons that are across from each other. So the rectangles all the way around, those 6 rectangles that connect those two faces, are the lateral faces. You're also going to need to know the names of different 3D objects. And so the 8 most common ones that you're going to need to know, and you're going to be able to need to see the word cube and pull this picture up in your head. You're going to be able to have to be able to say the word triangular prism and pull this picture up on your head. And the same with square, pyramid, rectangular prism, sphere, rectangular pyramid, cylinder, and cone. So this question asks, what shapes are the faces of a triangular pyramid? So you're going to need to be able to pull up a picture of what a triangular pyramid is. And you should be, in your mind, be able to picture something that looks like this. So the faces are the flat edge. And if I look, these are all triangles. So all of the flat sides are a triangular shape. So my final answer here is going to be C, triangles. So what shapes are the faces of a cube? Well, by definition, a cube is a prism with all square sides. And if you're able to pull up this picture in your head of what a cube looks like, then you'll also know that every side, every face there is a square. So it's going to make my final answer B. So which of the following could be a face of a rectangular prism? So a prism is 2 bases connected by rectangles. And if it's a rectangular prism, that means those 2 bases are rectangles. So it would look something like this. So you have those base rectangles on the top and bottom that are connected by rectangles all the way around. That's what a rectangular prism looks like. So every side there is a rectangle. So that means only Y, choice D, could be my answer. So which of the following has the most triangular faces? So I need to be able to know that a triangular prism is 2 triangles connected by rectangles, that a square pyramid is a square with triangles coming off each side that meet at a point, and a triangular pyramid is a triangle with triangles coming off each side connected at a point. So those 3 are going to look like this. And so which one of these is going to have the most triangular faces? Well, a prism is just going to be 2 triangles connected by 3 rectangles. A square pyramid is going to have the square on the bottom, and then each of the four sides of the square is going to have a triangle coming off of it, so that's going to be 4. And then a triangular pyramid is going to be a triangle on the bottom and have 3 triangles coming off the side for a total of 4. So a square pyramid and a triangular pyramid both have 4, so that's option 2 and 3, which is going to make B my final answer. So this one asks which of the following has the most circular faces. So here I need to know that a triangular pyramid is a triangle on the bottom as my base with 3 triangles coming off the sides meeting at a point, looking something like this. A cylinder is going to be 2 circles connected by a curved surface, looking something like this. And then a cone is going to be a circle on the bottom with a curved area meeting at a point looking something like this. So my first option has 0 circular circles. The cylinder has 2 circular faces and the cone has 1. So my cylinder is going to have the most, which is choice C, my final answer. This question here asks, which of the figures below have lateral faces that are triangles? So remember, lateral faces of an object are the faces that are not bases. So here in W, my base are the 2 pentagons across from each other. So my lateral faces are rectangles. So it's not going to be W. X, in a pyramid, your base is that shape on the bottom that the triangles come off of and meet at a point. So here, my base is a square and my lateral faces are triangles. So it could be X, but let's go ahead and check all the rest. I mean, Y has no triangles in it whatsoever, so it can't be Y. And then Z, my bases are the triangles and my lateral faces are the rectangles, so it's not going to be Z. So my final answer here is going to be X, which is choice D. This question I'm asked, how many vertices does it have? Remember, vertices are the corners. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners, or 5 vertices. So it's going to make my final answer D. So which of the following has 1 vertex? Well, I'm going to have to be able to pull from memory all the pictures of all of these 3D objects. And so when I'm thinking about each of those, I think about the fact that a cylinder is 2 circles connected by a curved surface. So it's not going to be a cylinder because there's no corners on a cylinder. A cone is 1 circle with a curved surface meeting at 1 point at the top. So my cone has 1 vertice. So it probably is going to be cone, but I want to go ahead and check all the rest. A cube is 6 squares put together. So there's 8 different corners on a cube. So it has 8 vertices, so it can't be a cube. And then the pyramid could have any base. Here I have an example of a triangular pyramid, but it could be a square pyramid, a rectangular pyramid, we don't know. But I'm going to have at least 3 corners on my base on the bottom and the one that the triangles meet at the top. So the smallest amount of vertices a pyramid could have is 4, so it's not a pyramid. And so that's for sure, I've checked them all out. My answer is going to be B, cone. So how many vertices does a square base pyramid have? So that means I'm going to have a square on the bottom and 4 triangles coming off the sides meeting at a vertex or point at the top. So I have to know from memory that it's going to look something like this. And so if I can draw that or picture that in my memory, then I can count up all the corners that this square pyramid is going to have, and it's going to have 5, which makes my final answer B. How many edges does this object have? Well, remember, edges are the lines that an object has. And so when I count them up, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And so there's 8 edges on this object, making my final answer A. Which of the following polyhedra, which is another name for 3D objects, has the fewest edges, so the fewest seams or sides? And so I just need to be able to pull from memory what each of these means. So I need to be able to picture in my head or draw sketches of the fact that a square-based pyramid is a square with 4 triangles meeting at a corner, that a triangular-based pyramid is a triangle with 3 triangles meeting at a vertex, that a cube is 6 squares, and that a triangular prism is 2 triangles across from each other connected by rectangles. So then I just count up the edges. So a cube is going to have 12 edges. A rectangular prism is going to have 9 edges. A square pyramid is going to have 8 edges. And then a triangular prism is going to have 6. So the one here with the least amount is a triangular base pyramid, which is choice B, my final answer. So let's try one without seeing the objects. Natalie is thinking of a 3-dimensional object. The object has 3 rectangular faces and 6 vertices. So what is the object? So a triangular prism, that's going to be 2 triangles across from each other, connected in each side of the triangle, 3 sides of the triangle, will have a rectangle connecting it. So that's going to have 3 rectangular faces and 2 triangular faces. So the first part checks out. And then I think about the corners. So I'm going to have the 2 triangles across from each other connected by rectangles. And each of those vertices is going to add up to 6. So that is going to make A my final answer. The first one checks out. Here, it's the same kind of problem, only they give us the pictures, and they want to know which one of these has 4 faces, 6 edges, and 4 vertices. So I'm going to go through and cross out the ones that don't have 4 faces. So W, I have 1 on the bottom, and 4 triangles around the side of that square for a total of 5 faces, so it can't be W. X is a cube, and a cube is 6 squares, so that will have 6 faces, not 4. Y is a triangle on the bottom and then 3 around the side, so that's going to be a total of 4 faces, so Y checks out. And then Z, I have 2 triangles across from each other connected by 3 rectangles. So that's going to be 2 triangles, 3 rectangles is 5 faces, not 4, so it can't be Z. So then I should just double check that Y does have the 6 edges and 4 vertices. So if I look at the edges, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that checks out also. And then if I count up my corners, I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the 4 vertices check out also. So my answer is going to be Y, which is choice A. And then my last problem just wants to know if I were to cut this rectangular prism up on and cut along the edges, which of these choices would represent my 6 faces. And so if I look, my bigger rectangles that are going around there are that grayish color, and then my square sides left and right here are that purplish color. So I'm going to need 2 purple squares and 4 gray rectangles. And the choice that gives me that scenario is X, which is choice C, my final answer. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you learned something new.